I'm going to play a little bit of sound of Todd Blanche, and then I'm going to ask you a question on the other side. Let's take a listen.
I mean, very involved, and he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He jokingly said to us a lot, sometimes he wanted to be the litigator. You know, he wanted to be the one that was actually arguing because he's a smart guy and he knows what he's doing. We made every decision together. It didn't work out. I mean, we got a bad result today. It's not over.
Jeremy Saland, you are a criminal defense attorney. You cut your teeth as a prosecutor like I did as well. And Catherine, I'm going to actually just drop this right now. Alina Habba going on CNN and says Alina Habba saying she wants to go on CNN and MSNBC, apparently. Alina, you're welcome to come on my show anytime. Alina, you're welcome now to come. No, I got her. It's fine. So, Jeremy, though, I wanted to ask you, I found that to be such a big tell by Todd Blanche. I actually thought it was kind of crappy for him to do that, to be very honest, as a defense attorney. I thought he did Donald Trump dirty right there. Why would you say that unless you, as Todd Blanche, are trying to defend the outcome of a guilty verdict on 34 counts, unless you took really bad advice from your own client? I mean, isn't it supposed to be the opposite?
Yeah, well, that was a problem throughout this entire case. When you say you're a co-litigant with your client,
that's absurd.
It is ridiculous. You're never a co-litigant. You are above, and you are the one who represents ethically and honestly the law, and you have to advocate for your client 100%. You're not going to just roll over ever. But this was clearly the roadshow and the sort of scheme of Donald Trump. I mean, we looked at about how they opened up, and then you never heard about it on the closing. About I didn't have sex with. Well, I didn't have sex. It wasn't Todd Blanche, but there was no sex with Stormy Daniels. You didn't hear about it in the closing. Why was it even brought up? You know, it was a way to deflect. And unfortunately, you had an attorney who may be a phenomenal prosecutor in federal court, but had not cut his teeth yet as a criminal defense attorney, had not spent time in state court. And unfortunately, they allowed Donald Trump to call the shots. And that really hurt their case, period. And when Donald Trump looks in that mirror, he may throw his attorneys under the bus, too, and they're prepared for that. But it's on Donald Trump.
Well, Michael Cohen is Exhibit A of throwing your lawyers under the bus, right?
I think that's certainly part of it.
So, Catherine, let's talk about the nuts and bolts of the appeal. Everybody wants to know. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Sentencing on July 11th, he's not going to be taken into custody, right?
I doubt. Even if he were given a sentence, he wouldn't be.
Of jail.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be taken in.
Yeah.
Walk us through quickly about the appeals process in this case.
So, you can't file a notice of appeal till he's sentenced. So, on sentencing date, that's when he will be given notice. In fact, usually the court clerk will say you have 30 days to file your notice of appeal.
Okay.
They will do that within 30 days. And then we call it the clock starts. Mm-hmm. So it'll be the appellate division, first department, which is an intermediate appellate division, appellate court in New York, where they will file it. And I've been told that if everyone files what they're supposed to file on time, it will not take a year. This appeal could be decided by January of 2025. Some people said, well, why can't it? So this
is after the November election.
Some people said, why can't it be done by November? Now, that would be really expedited. But it can be done if everyone, that's like the defense, files what they're supposed to file on time, the prosecution responds on time. So it's never the court's fault when appeals take forever. It's because the parties ask for adjournments, they don't file things on time.
Could the prosecution ask for an expedited appeal in this case?
No, it's the defense. It's his appeal.
Okay. All righty, Molly, I want to talk about those jurors. My colleague Steph Rule on my live stream that I do on YouTube on Verdict Day, she really came out all for these jurors. And it's true. I mean, you're a New Yorker. These were a jury of Donald Trump's peers. But, you know, they're welcome to speak to the media and to the public now. But based upon what we've seen about them trying to be doxxed already by MAGA extremists, what do you think they're going to do in this case?
Well, I hope they don't come forward and they protect themselves. I think, look, the judge made a real point of trying to keep them anonymous for their own safety. I think what is, you know, this is the kind of thing they do in an organized crime case.
Sure.
Right? This is not normal. And I think it's worth pulling back and realizing, like, Donald Trump and his Republican Party, which is really, he's really an autocrat. They really do intimidate people who don't go along with them. And that's why, look, I mean, you even had Susan Collins, right?
They were really happy with that. I mean, the Trump campaign, the Trump campaign was thrilled. That's
right. And she's spewing the lie, too, because all of these Republicans are scared of Donald Trump.
The I'm concerned Susan Collins?
Yes, the I'm
But
concerned.
not concerned about the fate or the safety of the jurors.
Right. And also not concerned about the law.
federal judge in the Jean Carroll case, I recall, advised those jurors to not speak to the press if I were you, and we don't know who they are.
Yeah.
So I
That's interesting. That's right.
the same thing here because they've seen this, these jurors. We won't, I mean, it's obviously their choice, but we will not hear about them. They will stay in the background because of safety reasons. And that's shocking that it has to happen. As you said,
right.
It happens in mob cases.
Right. And it's also like really a sign that Trumpism is really dangerous.
It's almost if it's Jonestown. And I think it's a really good analogy. It's you're going to drink this Kool-Aid whether you want to or not. Some are imbibing them on it because they want it and they're just drinking it by the gallon, and others are being forced to say, you're going to drink it, otherwise we're going to make you drink it. And that's really unfortunate. And hopefully these jurors, you can't allow one person to decimate one of the pillars of our country, which is law and order and criminal justice.
But it's
and if you
happening
allow,
right now.
it is frightening. This is what gets me angry, and I've said it time and time again. Inside that courtroom, he has every due process right. He is innocent until proven guilty. He now is proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. But outside that courtroom, he is single-handedly torn apart and ripped down what it means to be law and order and respect for justice.
Hugo, last word to